Alright, a little bit of updates, what's been going on. Went to the drag races the other weekend and they told me I need a battery box and a kill switch and all that stuff. So that's what I've been working on right now so I can get to the last races of the year. This is where I decided to mount it. It's not completely tightened on yet, or the sticker's not on or anything. This is a Taylor kill switch. So yeah, I just drilled the hole in there, nice and easy, kind of hidden. When I'm not racing, I can just take off the handle, then unless you have tools, you can't really fuck with my battery. I didn't want to drill my tail light or anything. I got lots of bumper fillers kicking around, so that's the spot I chose there. Yeah, kind of a big little unit there, but yeah, I use nice and thick 1-gauge wire going from there, drilled through the spare wheel thing. Should get some grommets for that to be safe. So yeah, you go straight from your battery to the switch, and then everything else that it was hooked to the battery goes to there. I kept the stock Camaro thing. I didn't want to cut it up, so I just got a bolt and bolted it through there where it would have bolted onto this piece. So I did that, and then I tried it, and if you know anything about these, you gotta also kill the alternator, because when I killed it, the alternator kept it powered up and running. So that's what this other wire is coming in here to the positive, is off the alternator. Yeah, it's 1-gauge or 2-gauge from the alternator back with an inline fuse, just like you would on your stereo system, I guess. Yeah, I just ran it under the back seat with the rest of the wires. That's the power wire. You want to make sure you're not pinching it anywhere. There's the fuse in there. The yellow wire is just some I had left over, so runs up the rocker panel or whatever, through the hole. There's a big hole for power windows and stuff outside, just the side of the firewall. I use that for a lot of things down here. And then this is the wire. So before, this wire looped right to the positive, so it went just a little loop from there to there, and there's still power here going down to the starter and whatnot. But to kill your engine and stuff, you have to cut that wire and run this back to the positive on the battery, or where it hooks up to the kill switch. It doesn't matter, but it kills it now. So that's that. Now I'm gonna go on to the battery box. So here's the ugly ass battery box I had to buy. I just got a Lordco special parts store special plastic one, poly, whatever, resistant to battery shit. But that's gotta hold my battery in the trunk, and then I still gotta mount it down. And the rules say you can't have straps holding it down or nothing, so you gotta have the bolts. And that's what I'll do. I'll probably just use the same system. Like, I got a big piece of rebar or ready rod that's been bent and threaded through with bolts on the other side, and it works good. But that's what I'll do. And I also have to get a drive shaft loop put in. I'm gonna attempt to do it myself, because there's a little cross member underneath there right by the front U-joint, like all the G bodies kind of have. There's a little brace going across underneath the drive shaft. If I can make these brackets mount up to it, even if I have to drill a hole in it to match them up, then that's what I'll do. I mean, why not? Then I don't have to weld on or drill through the floor. So, should work pretty good. This is a Lakewood. This thing is freaking heavy. Probably like friggin' 10 pounds. But gotta have it. Well, there she is, all complete. Kind of ripped the sticker a little bit, but that's alright. I've tested it out a couple times, it works good. Here's the battery box. Probably the ugliest piece of shit I've ever put on my car, but it's in there. Hopefully they class that as good enough for a battery box to pass tech. Still got my original hold downs, just went on the inside of the lid, and squish down the battery like I had it before. But yeah, it's in there pretty good. Also, you have to vent your battery to the outside, and mine was before, but I also ran the little tube there out with the battery wires. So this is the brace I was talking about, right here, going across. It's already got 2 bolts on each side. I've kind of trimmed it a bit there to fit my custom exhaust in there, but that's the one I want to take out and put the drive shaft loop right there. Should work just fine. It has to be within 6 inches of the front U-joint, and that definitely is. So yeah, we'll see how she works. Well, this is the progress so far today. Just loosely put together here, using the old bracket holes there. This one I have to drill one more hole on, but I ended up cutting, see there where the felt mark is, those 2 pieces used to be connected in an L bracket, 90 degree sort of deal. It just wasn't going to work, so I cut the one end off. I'm going to weld them back together right there, and on this side I angled it down so that it was running in right where those 2 bolts go through, so I bent it down, so I'll weld it on right there. Put a little bevel or 45 on there, but I'll get it welded there, so those 2, that'll be a solid piece there, that will be a solid piece to there, and then the rest is history. Bolt her up. I got a piece of foam up there to hold it up there just for my positioning, but she's pretty centered. It's gonna work good. Doesn't really hang lower than anything else on the car, so tomorrow I should have that welded up and bolted on. Well, here it is all welded up. Pretty much what it'll look like in the car. This is the passenger side. The floor is a little higher on the passenger side than the driver's side. Might need a little tweaking after the welding, but yeah, it's gonna work. Cut this off to clear the exhaust. Just shorten this one up because there's like 1.5 foot long of 2-inch by 1/4 inch steel, so might as well make it as light as you can. Could probably trim these off if I wanted to, but I'll leave them. They got extra bolt holes. Well, she's all put in there. Pretty good. It's really solid. I imagine this is actually stronger than that little brace that was in there before. Yeah, just left those 2 bolts and then those 2 loose. That one's real tight to the exhaust, but I am not dropping my exhaust to put a dent in it for that. I will do that at another date, because racing is this Friday. But yeah, pretty much ready for racing now. Another thing that's new is these tires. I did finally put them on. They're BFG Sport Comp 2s or whatever. Yeah, these are the 275 40s. You wouldn't be going any wider on this car, that's for sure. They don't make the G-Force ones anymore, I don't think, but I've been getting some rubbing right here. You can see here, it rubbed in there and crinkled the chrome a little bit. I had put a spacer in there to get it away from the frame because it's like super tight on the inside, and then it rubbed on here with the 1/4 inch, so I put an 1/8 inch, and still on hard bumps and stuff it's rubbing. So as much as I don't want to, I'm gonna take a cutting disc and just slice a bit off of there. I'll put some masking tape on there first and then yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So as you can see, that's about how much material came off. Nothing really. That's all I really needed. Just trimmed her along there. But yeah, it's gonna work. I got an eighth of an inch spacer on here. You can see where they like to rub right there on the frame a bit. And then up here, a little bit up here. But this one was mostly catching out here on the chrome. And it's funny, it was only the one side, the other side just happens to be perfectly placed, and it doesn't rub at all. It might rub a little bit on the inside when the axle comes way up on a big bump or something, but that's not too big of an issue. Didn't want to crinkle nothing out here, but that should do her.